Hey, what's going on? Today I want to show you a bit of photo editing in Lightroom and Photoshop. We're going to change this photo into this photo. So first we're going to drop the raw image from our camera into our computer, and we're going to open it in Lightroom. So in Adobe Lightroom, you want to go to the library section and click on import, and import the image we just dropped off from our camera. So we'll add this image to our catalog. Once done, we're going to go to develop so we can do some tweaking here. So this image was taken at 60th of a second at f9 at ISO 100, and it looks very flat. So the first thing we're going to do is go down here near the bottom and click on remove chromatic aberration and enable profile correction. This will fix the distortion from your lens. Next we're going to straighten up the image because it's a bit slanted. So we're going to click on crop and the ruler, and we're going to click and drag across the horizon and make sure that it's straight. And the first thing I like to do is drop the highlights so we can see the details in the clouds, and then increase the shadows. Next we're going to increase the whites just a bit, and then we're going to drop the blacks to give it some contrast. Now we're going to add a bit of contrast, and we're going to increase the exposure. I think that's okay. Next, for this image, we're going to boost up the clarity and the saturation and drop the temperature just a bit. Now we got the details back in the building, but there's not much in the clouds, so we're going to edit that in a bit. So I'm going to click on the brush tool and start brushing in the clouds. And I don't want to select the buildings, I just want to select the clouds. So I gotta be careful not to select the buildings. And every once in a while you can let go of the mouse and hover over the spot, and you can see which areas you've covered. We want to fill in the spots that we've missed. And I think that's okay. So right here under the brush panel, we can make some adjustments only to the areas affected by the brush. So we're going to increase the clarity a bit, as well as the dehaze, and we're going to reduce the saturation by a bit. And I think the image is not too bad, but I think the green here is a little bit distracting, and I think we can get more color from the building here. So we're going to go down to the hue, saturation, illuminance panel, and I'm going to be lowering the green and aqua to kind of remove this, but I don't want to remove it all the way, so I'll reduce the aqua to around -80. And I think I'm going to boost up the red. The orange I'm going to boost up to around 80, as well as the yellow. And we can see some disturbing purple here, so I'm going to drop down the purple down to 100, as well as the magenta. And then that gets rid of the purple effect here. And I think we're done with the color correction. So we're going to go down to the vignetting, and we're going to add a bit of black vignetting. And once the color correction is done, I want to double check that this line is straight. So we're going to click on the crop tool again and make sure that the line here is as straight as possible to the horizon. So if you want to upload photos like these to Instagram, you could change the aspect ratio here to 1:1. That way you could just get your cropping done in Lightroom. So we're almost done here. Now we're going to go into Photoshop to do some special effects. Right click, go to Edit In, and Photoshop. So once we're in Photoshop, we can see that the image is inside a layer called background. We're going to press Ctrl J to duplicate the layer. So now that we have two layers, click on the top layer and press Command T. And then right click on the image and click flip vertical. So I'm going to add a layer mask to the top image, but I'm going to click on Alt while I do this so that I get a black layer image. Now I'm going to select the brush tool and make sure that I have a white color. Make sure that the layer mask is selected, and I'm going to brush in the areas that I want to expose. So by brushing in white in the layer mask, you're actually you're making that layer visible. So in the end, you have a layer mask that looks something like this, and this is the final image. So this was a quick demo on how to enhance your images in Lightroom and Photoshop. So if you want to see more videos like these in the future, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.